Welcome to the Anthology of Enlightenment, the summer sessions, almost coming to an end. Today, the Anthology of Enlightenment with a special guest. And that's not just a guest, it's also a master of the Middle East, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, so that we know about whom we speak. It's a resurrected man, from out of time, present with us here. As always, he's always with us. We notice this and we know this, and that's so lovely. So it's like, yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, always welcome. He's always here with us, and yeah, you can see him as a friend or as an incredible inspirator, as the atonement principle itself. Is like, yeah, he demonstrates his holiness and includes your holiness. He is your reference, your mirror for holiness, and that's, yeah, that is, you can go as far as you want with that. So to me it's like, wow, I can't believe it. Like I'm just deeply grateful for what has come to me, even though I didn't recognize always that the Christ in me is the Christ in Christ. But the whole procedure, the whole transformation that is taking place in you at this point is directed and inspired and inspired by Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now, how does that exactly work? Because, yeah, one can say that, one can experience parts of it, but how would you know? How do you do this? Not like what can be revealed that even becomes more clear or more deep as an experience. And it's like, well, nothing can convince you of that but experience. That is the beauty of it. It's like there's a real surprise factor related to it. I come from the United States, heading to Holland to say, yeah, immigrate to Holland, back to Holland again. Not that I ever found it, but I was on my way. So I have a moment, a step over in Dublin Airport in Ireland. A couple of hours. Before I went, my friend said to me, well, if you have time, just download this Course of Love on your phone or something and start reading it. It's amazing. So I followed up on that instruction. I suddenly remembered while waiting in the airport in Ireland, excited of what I've left behind, the past that was gone, like being in the United States, not knowing where to step into with Holland, being in the middle of it, and it's like, I have no idea. And then suddenly this idea comes in as a very lovely idea of my friend. My friend told me to download this. That is a very lovely idea, to give that to someone. When you feel that coming up, you share it. That is a very lovely idea. That wasn't a very lovely idea. So I downloaded it and started reading. I went through right away. I opened it up in chapter 20. And what happened then, I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to share with you what I read. The embrace. Your longing now has reached a fever pitch, a burning in your heart quite different from that which you have felt before. Your heart may even feel as if it is stretched outward, straining heavenward, near to bursting with its desire for union. A desire you do not understand but can surely feel. This is a call to move now into my embrace and let yourself be comforted. Let the tears fall and the weight of your shoulders rest upon mine. Let me cradle your head against my breast, and as I stroke your hair and assure you that it will be all right, realize that this is the whole world, the universe, the all of all, in whose embrace you literally exist. Feel the gentleness and the love. Drink in the safety and the rest. Close your eyes and begin to see with an imagination that is beyond thought and words. You are no longer the object viewing the subjects of the kingdom. You are the heart of the kingdom. The kingdom's beauty revealed. The beloved child suckled at the breast of the Queen Mother Earth. One child of one mother, nameless and beyond naming. No I resides here. You have given up the vision of your eyes and the I of your ego. You are loosed of bounds, no longer a thing of beauty, but beauty itself. Thingness is over, and your identity no longer stands in form but flows from life itself. Your beauty is the gathering of the atoms, the order in chaos, the silence in solitude, the grace of the cosmos. Our heart is the light of the world. We are of one heart, we are of one mind, one creative force gathering the atoms, establishing the order, blessing the silence, gracing the cosmos, manifesting the light of the heart. Here we live as one body, experiencing communion, the soul's delight, rather than otherness. It is a seamless world, a tapestry where each thread is vibrant and strong, a canticle where each tone is pure and indivisible.
L'étreinte. Votre désir a maintenant atteint son paroxysme, une brûlure dans votre cœur, tout à fait différente de celle que vous avez ressentie jusqu'à présent. Votre cœur peut même avoir l'impression de s'étirer vers l'extérieur, de se tendre vers le ciel, d'être sur le point d'éclater avec son désir d'union. Un désir que vous ne comprenez pas, mais que vous pouvez certainement ressentir. C'est un appel à entrer maintenant dans mes bras et à vous laisser réconforter. Laissez les larmes couler et le poids de vos épaules reposer sur les miennes. Laissez-moi bercer votre tête contre ma poitrine pendant que je caresse vos cheveux et vous assure que tout va bien. Réalisez qu'il s'agit du monde entier, de l'univers, du tout de tout dans les bras desquels vous existez littéralement. Ressentez la douceur et l'amour. Buvez la sécurité et le repos. Fermez les yeux et commencez à voir avec une imagination qui va au-delà de la pensée et des mots. Vous n'êtes plus l'objet qui regarde les sujets du royaume. Vous êtes le cœur du royaume, la beauté du royaume révélé. l'enfant bien-aimé allaité au sein de la reine-mère, la terre, un enfant d'une seule mère, sans nom et au-delà de tout nom. Aucun je ne réside ici. Vous avez renoncé à la vision de vos yeux et au jeu de votre ego. Vous êtes libéré de vos limites. Vous n'êtes plus un objet de beauté, mais la beauté elle-même. La chose est terminée et votre identité n'est plus dans la forme, mais découle de la vie elle-même. Votre beauté est le rassemblement des atomes, l'ordre dans le chaos, le silence dans la solitude, la grâce du cosmos. Votre cœur est la lumière du monde. Nous sommes un seul cœur. Nous sommes un seul esprit, une seule force créatrice, rassemblant les atomes, établissant l'ordre, bénissant le silence, honorant le cosmos, manifestant la lumière du cœur. Ici, nous vivons comme un seul corps, faisant l'expérience de la communion, le plaisir de l'âme plutôt que de l'altérité. C'est un monde homogène, une tapisserie dont chaque fil est vibrant et solide, un cantique où chaque tonalité est pure et invisible.
And this is my experience with Jesus. It's like, well, he's present. And of course, the other masters that we looked at are present too. But Jesus is certainly present too. In all kinds of ways, is coming to us as an inspiration. As an inspiration and a recognition of the resurrection that he literally demonstrated. You could say like no one else. And in that, as everyone else, by his resurrection, everyone resurrected, since there's only one of us, one Christ. Now, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, where did he come from? When was he born? Oh, now we got the date. Oops, he was born 6 to 4 before Christ. That's interesting. I got this from the Wikipedia, but I thought it was an interesting idea. It's like, I thought it was say Christ is born on year 0, but no, he's born in 6 to 4 years before Christ, and he passed on between the 30 and the 33 A.D. In other words, he was like 40 years old, a little bit younger. If you want to put it into, well, that's what we do now, put it into concrete fact matter, also referred to as Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, and many other names and titles, was a 1st century Jewish preacher and religious leader. He is the central figure of Christianity. The world's largest religion. Most Christians believe Jesus to be the incarnation of God, the Son, and the awaited Messiah, or Christ, a descendant from the house of David that is prophesied in the Old Testament. All right. Well, I hope you could make it to listen to this. I found it great to read it and to hear it again. It's like you become part of the occurrence so much. So I love that, and of course that is the case. And also the warnings that are connected to it. It's like, watch out, don't let it crystallize into anything. And of course that happened. Like everything that you could possibly see happen did happen. And now, say in our new experience of transformation, of not, say, lingering in old ceremonial behavior, you could say, or patterns of this is how we do that, because like a mathematical formula, this can come to life anywhere where we in fact do this. And more so is the letting this remembrance, letting this experience come to us of the union with Christ. That's an individual experience, but it's also an experience we, say, invite when we meet. Now, that is really lovely. So I have some expressions of the Last Supper that I like to share. Some of them are very familiar, like Leonardo da Vinci's art. He did like this, almost like a mathematical painting with where is everyone positioned and making even how they sit and how they look into a perfect geometry, sacred geometry. And this is great because he's actually telling something else too. Well, I'll show you a picture. So here's the picture with, let me see, I gotta turn this up a little bit. This is the picture. So the picture of Leonardo da Vinci, the Last Supper. I'm adjusting the microphone, so sorry. So here, well, take a look at it and see. So you see at least, and that's what we heard too, is like there's a lot of movement, there's a lot going on. It's like there's conflict, there's considerations, and Jesus is just quiet, in fact. It's like he's totally quiet. And there's all kinds of things going on here. I really love to see this in that sense. Now this is Leonardo da Vinci. So here is a Dali. He made a picture too. He went a step further. But I really love this picture too. So I used it for the Urtext of A Course in Miracles. And originally it's more with blues and reds than it is here. So I don't know exactly what happened. But you see a transfiguring body. You see, like as if he's not here at all already, like this. Like he's not in the three-dimensional form at all. So this is interesting to me too, to watch this. Here we are. like I said, I wanted to share this with you just to show something completely different as an expression of the Last Supper. It's like these ideas, we don't want them to consolidate, to crystallize. No, this is like, no, there's a real occurrence. It's coming to life, a spiritual life. Like you're part of the Last Supper, and suddenly you see an happening. And see, it is like it's open. It's not set in stone how that's going to look. But you see that everything comes back to your individual responsibility and action of mind. So if you think you're too much to do to wash each other's feet, right? Like Jesus expresses, like, okay, well, you might as well do that. Now, like he's literally demonstrating it. So of course, that in itself, that act in itself is also repeated and crystallized into something that you always have to need to help, blah, blah, blah. Like everything is going to be crystallized in that sense. When the human mind comes forth and makes comparisons, like you're not doing it, I'm doing it, or something like this, like there's competition or there's comparison. Now, in order for that to be free, you stay, in fact, with the moment in order to let yourself be inspired to do whatever is needed to do. You don't know how you will behave in a setup like that. You don't know. There's no set rule. There's no mathematics concerned with it. Except listening. It's like you listen and follow the instructions. Like that is what brings it to life. That's what will do it. Now this is really great and very helpful. So this video I thought was great too. Now, as you could see in the talk that we listened to from the Urantia, there was mentioned the song that they always sing after the Passover, which is Psalm 118. Now, I looked at that and then it's like, oh, I love to make a poem of that. Let's just make a poem of that. So this is what I did, and I'm going to share that with you too. It's like it's a great way to express it too. Anyway, so also part then of the story of the Passover celebration of in fact the new sacrament that is. Thanks to God, all good is His. Let everyone say, His love is all and is eternal. Before I ask, He gives me everything. Before I question, He gives me the answer. Before I fear, He confirms, I am your fortress, your comfort and your safety. When I think my life has come to an end, He assures me of my life eternal. When I see sickness and limitation and am afraid it will come to me, He offers grace. By your grace I am sustained, I am alive, abundant in joy, peace overflowing. My soul sings His love is eternal, radiating throughout the universe of universes. When I am still and surrender to your will, your law of love, in this instant I find your eternal love. His love is eternal. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining today, for this, to be part of this and following this with me, like immerging yourself into this, what is given, in a recognition of an embrace that puts you right in place. Talking about poetic inspiration here. It's like, you have no idea. Like I always can say that to you, because in order to experience this or to let this come to you, you cannot have any idea. So here it is. Like the embrace is really given you when you ask for it, when you're open to receive it as the greatest gift. Like how beautiful it is to recognize each other in the oneness, in that what shows us, like shows me, there's only one of us. In the short period before this started here, before I opened the Zoom room, I had a visitor, you could say. Like I had Jesus coming to me, and in fact, the only thing that happens then is a joining, an holy instant we enter into, just like the one we're having now. It's like being overwhelmed with gratitude and being so sensitive for anything in the direction of truth that you only need a little push, and there you have your heaven experience. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So this happens easily when you fall in love with this Master, with this One, with this Christ inwardly, with this Christ within you. And when you fall in love with this Christ within you, you become very sensitive for peace and for joining, for union, for all of this. It's a real miraculous occurrence altogether. Now, today I want to take a look at some of the miracle expressions of Jesus, because the fact that the Course in Miracles came down, for instance, by out-of-body resurrected mind, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, in your lap, literally, on your screen, in your telephone, on many websites, on everywhere. Like you can buy the books. There are probably 2 million copies sold at this point, or maybe even more. It's available in all kinds of versions, and so it's you could say, like, historically 2000 years after date that this is being dropped off here. Now there's a package being dropped off, this Course in Miracles package that you had no idea about. Suddenly there it is. It's like suddenly it is there. And for me it was like this, like I took it out of a library. It was just translated into Dutch. I took it out of the library for my wife at the time. It's like, here it is. Here's A Course in Miracles. But I just didn't give it to her right away. I opened it up myself and I had like, oh my God. It is like when you look in the book, you know your days are counted. So here we go then. So you actually feel too that there's something else, and that something else is going to be overwhelmingly great, but you don't know what that means. So, like I said, within your concepts, it's scary, but within truth, it is the most natural thing, of course. It is what you are. So instead of having to make up concepts about you, or making thoughts about yourself, making thoughts about this world, you come into the direct experience of the thought, of that what you are. You come in the direct experience of your identity, and that is what the Christ is. That is what enlightenment is. You come into the direct experience of who you are. You don't have to think about it because you didn't make it in the first place. You don't have to defend it because it is there, no matter what. You don't have to do anything with it, just let it be. And in fact, the you that controls that is gone too when that occurs. So that's the freedom of letting that be. It's the only way. It's literally like the Prince of Peace has entered your mind. The Prince of Peace has entered your awareness. And yeah, like I said in the beginning, it's like my encounter with Jesus then is always one in which we are not exchanging anything. No, we disappear in a holy instant together. It's like literally I'm coming into the direct experience of union with Christ. Union with my oneness, with my withinness, with everything that I am and that I recognize to be. So that is overwhelming. Simple as that. That is overwhelming. It sets you free from any other idea, because the other ideas are so small that you don't even think about them. First, I want to start with also something that puts you right in the place of this sensitivity, as I call it now. It's like it's a sensitivity for truth, which is like a confession that you make to yourself within. Like you confess your perfection. You confess what you truly are. And you express that. You can say out loud. You can say that out loud. And it is more like, well, give it a try. Just express it, because it is what you are. So, like within you, there's a total recognition with it somewhere. And that can be immediately right in your consciousness, right here, right now. That's great. So this confession of perfection we can use. And this is part of, say, the introduction to what is a miracle. And that part is also in, say, part 2 of the workbook, lesson 350. Now, the interesting thing was that I asked one of us, like, which miracle prayer shall we do? Which from this booklet shall we take today? And then, so this confession of perfection came to the surface. Now, that's an interesting one for me, because, in fact, I declared my perfection many times, of course, but it's like I declared my perfection in the Miracles Healing Center where I was living. I lived there for some time. It's like I worked there, lived there, administrated it. I was there, and every Sunday we had Bible Alive. Now, an essential part of this Bible Alive was also the moment in which we are declaring our perfection. Individually, but also like in this group, in this church kind of setup. Not that it was a real church, no, it were like everyone in this place would declare this for himself. But coming to unity in doing so, obviously. So that's why this is for me like great to bring this back in and share it again and give it everything. Like yeah, this is so dear to me. You have no idea. Like it has been with me so long, and it is so deeply ingrained. It is so part of every cell of my body. So that's what I love about it. And so I made a video for it, and Michelle and I were say reciting it. I am God's Son, complete and healed and whole, shining in the reflection of His love. In me is His creation sanctified and guaranteed eternal life. In me is love perfected, fear impossible, and joy established without opposite. I'm the holy home of God Himself. I am the heaven where His love resides. I am His holy sinlessness itself, for in my purity abides His own.
Je suis le Fils de Dieu, complet, guéri et entier, brillant dans le reflet de son amour. En moi se trouve sa création sanctifiée et garantit la vie éternelle. En moi se trouve l'amour parfait, la peur impossible et la joie établie sans vis-à-vis. Je suis la sainte demeure de Dieu lui-même. Je suis le ciel où réside son amour. Je suis sa sainte absence de péché, car dans ma pureté demeure la sienne.
So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's so great. Thank you so much for joining in this. So, you see, the whole description was in the song too. It's like it becomes a description when that shall happen. And then the question is, why not now? Because that would be what a miracle is. Let it happen now, not some other time, not tomorrow, not later, not who knows when. Let that be now. It's like then the song would even expand even more. But you can definitely say flow with this and see it that it's realized in this instant, and you don't have to wait for it. Like the second coming of Christ within you is an actual occurrence in this moment, if you allow that to be complete to you, for you. So, Yeah, this is really great. So now the miracle principles are actually totally helpful for that, to speed up that process, because if you would have to wait in your human evolution to come to that, then indeed it might take another 20,000 years. But luckily, there's such a thing as a miracle, as say, a quantum moment, a quantum conversion, a quantum instant in which time and space collapse just like that. And something that happens, like the union with the Christ within you, can happen instantaneously. It does not have to take years or who knows how long. No, this is instantly available. That's why Jesus is a quantum healer. He's literally allowing you to step into that with him at any time of your desire. Now that's good to know. So but when is it going to happen, and are you allowing that to occur? Great. Now Jesus has many expressions. He tells us something about that in the Course in Miracles, Miracle Principles in chapter 1. And those are the ones that we're going to take a look at. Christ inspires all miracles. And you say, of course, which are essentially intercessions. They intercede for man's holiness. So intercessions, it's like they break in just like that. They cut space and time for just a moment and take you out of it. They intercede for man's holiness and make him holy. They place men beyond the physical laws of limitation, of sickness, pain and death, and raise him into the sphere of celestial order, where you're at home. Yeah, so it's an intercession. It's like whambo. Suddenly I find myself in a whole different place, where my holiness is recognized, where I'm no longer under the law of man, no longer under the physical laws as we know them. No more limitation, no more pain, no more sickness, no more disaster, pain and death. Into the sphere of celestial order, where you feel right at home because it is your home. In this order, man is perfect. So this is the miracle principle, in which you see how it comes about that a miracle takes place. Like, what happens when a miracle happens? Well, they intercede for your holiness. They literally say, open up time and space to take you out of it. So it's like a quantum moment into the fourth dimension, into the celestial, in the sphere of celestial order, the 4+ dimension. In this order, man is perfect. Here's another one. The soul never loses its communion with God. That would be impossible, because it literally is the altar of this. Yeah, the altar of this is in the soul, you could say. So man never loses communion with God. The soul never loses its communion with God. Only the mind and body need atonement, because we think in terms of separation. We prove that the body can be sick, or that the mind can be sick. Who thinks that the body can be sick? That's the expression. So it needs atonement. It needs reunion with truth by letting go of what it can never be. And that's what we call forgiveness. So the miracle joins in the atonement of Christ by placing the mind in the service of the Spirit. This establishes the proper function of mind and abolishes error. So placing the mind in service of the Spirit. Oh, that sounds really great, yeah? It's like the mind in the service of the Spirit instead of in the service of itself. Like, no, you ask Spirit what to do. What is this supposed to mean? How am I supposed to look at this? Guide me, show me where to go, what to say, what to do. This establishes the proper function of mind and abolishes its error. Like it literally undoes its errors. Miracles honor man. Why is that? Because he is lovable. They dispel illusions about himself. Well, see, that's not an accusing God or anything like that. Wait, what did happen? Miracles honor man because he is lovable. They dispel illusions about himself. Anything that is not lovable, it's like that is being dispelled about himself, and perceive the light in him. They thus atone for his errors by freeing him from his own nightmares. They release him from a prison in which he has imprisoned himself. By freeing his mind from illusions, they restore his sanity and place him at the feet of Jesus. Place him at the feet of Jesus. Just like the Last Supper, you're being placed at the feet of Jesus. You're going to sit right there, in a place of honor, you could say. But there's no differences in one is more honorable than another. No. Miracles honor man because he is lovable. That's equal. There's no levels in that. So I can't wait to read more, because they tell us so much today. The forgiven are the means of the atonement. Those released by Christ must join in releasing their brothers, for this is the plan of atonement. It's like there's something there. If you've experienced the release of your imprisonment, you suddenly start to experience the Christ, the light within you, then something starts in you. You're going to be a total part of the plan of atonement, releasing your brothers by continuously not behaving as a human being, not responding as a human being, not being present as a human being, no, as being present as a Christ mind, as a whole mind. Recognizing the pain of your brother is your own, recognizing that you can release your brothers by what you have experienced. Miracles are the way in which minds that serve the Spirit unite with Christ for the salvation or release of all God's creations. Miracles are the way in which minds that serve the Spirit unite with Christ for the salvation or release of all God's creations. See, that's a beautiful description. It's like miracles are the way in which minds that serve the Spirit unite with Christ for the salvation of God's creations. That is so cool. Remember, you already have a point about the involuntary nature of miracles, like it's not under your conscious control. We also have established the fact that everything involuntary belongs under Christ's control. Like you don't want to decide things for yourself any longer. No, it is Christ controlled, not under your control. Under Christ's control, miracles replenish the doer as well as the receiver. So here's an incredible win-win situation. If you give up your control of what you think should happen in any situation, any moment of the day. Like, no. It's completely open. It's Christ controlled. It's not me controlled. And miracles replenish the doer as well as the receiver. You can give a miracle. You can extend the light. Christ-controlled miracles are part of the atonement. Yeah, we understand that. It's like Christ-controlled miracles are part of the atonement. If it's not Christ-controlled, then what is it? It is you-controlled, and what is that going to bring? Like that is not helpful. But Christ guidance, like Christ can guide you. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to look at this? The Christ guidance is personal and leads to personal salvation, because you're literally taken by the hand and shown what to do, and seeing that if you follow that guidance, you see that everything is based on the unity with your brother instead of the separation. I'm just spelling this out for you. This is very familiar to us with the impersonal idea that Joel Goldsmith, for instance, is speaking at. The impersonal nature of miracles is an essential ingredient because this enables me to control their distribution as I see fit. And who's talking? Me is with a capital M, and I also. The impersonal nature of miracles is an essential ingredient because this enables me to control their distribution as I see fit. Jesus Christ of Nazareth is talking to you in person, in first person, as I see fit. That means you're under guidance of Christ in this. When am I supposed to give a miracle? When am I supposed to perform a miracle? Show me, because I don't know. This is how I start my day. Every day I will ask, show me what miracles to perform as you see fit, because I'm under Christ's guidance and I'm waiting for your instruction for that, and when it is right according to your to what you see. So in that sense, we're really like Jesus Christ of Nazareth, dependent in our miracle healing. These are, say, Christ-related expressions, miracle expressions, miracle principles. And I thought it was great to put them all into one place, because we're bringing in Jesus Christ of Nazareth into this. Like, have you any idea? Have you any idea how complete this is? Like, this is everything you ever wanted to know about miracle healing or spiritual healing. It's literally in the first chapter of the book. Like, all these miracle principles are allowing you to discover what healing really is, what that actually means, and also some ways of, this is how we do that, this is how that's being done, and your part in it is essential, but you're not determining when or where it should happen. So you're under, say, perfect guidance. You don't have to be upset about that you are not determining it. No, there will be much for you in this. Like, the most amazing experiences are waiting for you in performing these miracles as a spontaneous occurrence in your mind, just because it's given to you and it's part of the plan of atonement. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. At that day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. Father, I come to you today to seek the peace that you alone can give. I come in silence, in the quiet of my heart, the deep recesses of my mind. I wait and listen for your voice. My Father, speak to me today. I come to hear your voice in silence and in certainty and love. Sure, you will hear my call and answer me. Now do we wait in quiet. God is here because we wait together. I am sure that He will speak to you and you will hear. Accept my confidence, for it is yours. Our minds are joined. We wait with one intent, to hear our Father's answer to our call, to let our thoughts be still and find His peace, to hear Himself speak to us of what we are, and to reveal Himself unto his Son.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. Father, I give you all my thoughts today. I would have none of mine. In place of them, give me your own. I give you all my acts as well, that I may do your will instead of seeking goals which cannot be obtained, and wasting time in vain imaginings. Today I come to you. I will step back and merely follow you. Be you the guide, and I the follower who questions not the wisdom of the infinite, nor love whose tenderness I cannot comprehend, but which is yet your perfect gift to me. Today we have one guide to lead us on. As we walk together, we will give this day to him with no reserve at all. This is his day, and so it is a day of countless gifts and mercies unto us.
Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I will not wait another day to find the treasures that my Father offers me. Illusions are all vain, and dreams are gone even while they are woven out of thoughts that rest on false perceptions. Let me not accept such meager gifts again today. God's voice is offering the peace of God to all who hear and choose to follow him. This is my choice today, and so I go to find the treasures God has given me. Father, I seek but the eternal, for your Son can be content with nothing less than this. What then can be his solace but what you are offering to his bewildered mind and frightened heart, to give him certainty and bring him peace? Today, I would behold my brothers sinless. This your will for me, for so will I behold my sinlessness.
Aimez vos amis, bénissez ceux qui vous haïssent, faites du bien à ceux qui vous haïssent, et priez pour ceux qui vous maltraitent et vous persécutent. Soyez donc parfaits, tout comme votre Père qui est aux cieux est parfait. Père, ton Fils est parfait. Quand je pense que je suis blessé d'une manière ou d'une autre, c'est parce que j'ai oublié qui je suis et que je suis tel que tu m'as créé. Vos pensées ne peuvent que m'apporter votre bien. Si jamais je suis triste, blessé ou malade, j'ai oublié ce que tu penses et j'ai mis mes petites idées dénuées de sens à la place de l'endroit où appartiennent tes pensées et où elles se trouvent. Je ne peux être blessé que par mes pensées. Les pensées avec toi que je pense ne peuvent que bénir. Les pensées que je pense avec toi seules sont vraies. Je ne me ferai pas de mal aujourd'hui, car je suis bien au-delà de toute douleur. Mon Père m'a placé en sécurité au ciel, veillant sur moi. Et je n'attaquerai pas le Fils qu'il aime, car ce qu'il aime m'appartient aussi.
Jeez, you guys get me. Oh, okay. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Your peace surrounds me, Father, for I go. Where I go, your peace goes there with me. It sheds its light on everyone I meet. I bring it to the desolate and lonely and afraid. I give your peace to those who suffer pain or grieve for loss or think they are bereft of hope and happiness. Send them to me, my Father. Let me bring your peace with me, for I would save your Son, as is your will, that I may come to recognize myself. And so we go in peace. To all the world we give the message that we have received. And thus we come to hear the voice of God, the voice for God, who speaks to us as we relate his word, whose love we recognize because we share the word that he has given unto us. Thank you.